You gave a hadith that the Prophet said, I'm leaving two weighty things, the Quran and my Sunnah, narrated in Mustadrak al-Hakim. Firstly, that hadith is not the Quran and the Sunnah, for the hadith was إِنِّي تَارِكٌ فِيكُمْ وَجِهَتَيْنِ وَكَلِمَتَيْنِ وَثَقِيلَتَيْنِ إِحْدُهُمَا الْقُرْآنِ وَالْأُخْرَى أَحْلُ الْبَيْتِ. The Prophet said, I'm leaving you the Quran and I am leaving you my Ahlul Bayt. It's not Quran and Sunnah. Okay, the hadith of Ghadir, this Inni Tarikum hadith, is very famous. It's famous within even non-Muslims and atheist historians. And it specifically states that the Prophet left the Quran and he left his Ahlul Bayt. Now obviously, clearly, if you've been taught that the Prophet left his Quran and his Sunnah, then okay, let's go with that for a second. So do you personally think that you adhere to the Quran and the Sunnah? Hamaswi, or however you pronounce your name. Can somebody undot the new person who came in the room, please? Hamaswi, do you personally adhere? How can you not get the question? The Prophet said, I leave you, according to you, I leave you the Quran and my Sunnah. Do you adhere? Which means, do you think that you are applying this Sunnah? Do you think that you are following the Prophet? Do you think that you are following the Quran and the Sunnah? Okay, in terms of the Quran, you think you're following the Quran, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Now, you think you're adhering to the Sunnah. Can you give me the definition of Sunnah, please? Well, what is a Sunnah? Just so we can just get to the bottom of this issue. What is a Sunnah? Do you really need the mic to tell me what a Sunnah is? Okay, do you know what? To cut time short, I'm just going to answer it for you. A Sunnah is basically following what the Prophet said. What the Prophet asked us to do, or what the Prophet did himself. It's the Sunnah. And those who adhere to the Sunnah are those who are doing what the Prophet said, and those who are doing what the Prophet did. Now, you read about this in Mustadrak al-Hakim and Tirmidhi, about the Prophet saying, I leave you the Quran and I leave you my Sunnah. Now, did you know what the Prophet said after he proclaimed this? He said, Allahu mawlahi wa ana mawla al-mu'mineen. Allah is my master and I am the master of every believer. Man kuntu mawla fahadha aliyun mawla. If you take me as your master, then you must take Ali after me. Allahumma wali man wala Ali wa adi man ada Ali. God love those who love Ali, and show enmity towards those. I will get to the bottom of that as well. I'll give you the reference numbers and everything. And show enmity to those who show enmity towards Ali. Haqqu da'iman ma Ali wa aliyun ma al-haqq. The truth is always with Ali and Ali is always with the truth. Now, we've both agreed, hypothetically now, just to get this conversation going, that the Prophet said, I leave you the Quran and the Sunnah. You claim that you're adhering to the Sunnah. The Sunnah is do what the Prophet said. Now, Kanji, if you can take this conversation to a PM, so that I can discuss with the brother. You know, obviously if you're going to be talking about a different topic, the text usually confuses the conversation in the room. So if you could just take this to the PM. Yeah, if the sister Eva, if you would like to add him, or however you would like to do this. Okay. Now, if the Prophet said, adhere to my Sunnah, and the Prophet is saying, follow Ali after me, do you personally believe that you are adhering to the Prophet's Sunnah? Now, I'm going to release the mic for you, so that you can give me your views, and in the meantime, while I release the mic, I'm going to go get my hadith that the Prophet said, Man kuntu mawla fahadha aliyun mawla. Okay? Before I go, Brother Taha, are you still in the room? I just want to make sure that there's an admin in the room. Brother Taha, are you still with us? Okay, cool. You stay in the room. Okay, I'm going to release the mic for you, Hamaswi. Yeah, I invited her. She's my friend. But anyway, I'm going to release the mic, so you come and give me your views, and I'm going to go get your Sunni authentic hadiths that the Prophet said, Man kuntu mawla fahadha aliyun mawla. Mic free.
Thank you, brother. I believe in the Sunnah, and whatever you said it means. I believe I know what it means, but I never heard this. I have heard this talk, but I never heard this meaning that you got, that I am the master of every people and Ali is your mullah. I didn't hear this in any. So can you just give me the hadith, please, and just give me 10 minutes. I will go and pray my morning prayer, and I will be back. Okay, brother?
Okay, cool, that's not a problem. So if you could go and pray, let me know when you're back, and then inshallah I'll give you your hadiths. Okay, I'm just going to release the mic. Okay, now, so going back to what we're discussing is that the Prophet left the Quran and his Sunnah, so we adhere to the Sunnah. The Sunnah is to do what the Prophet said. The Prophet said, after me is Ali. You've never seen this hadith before. Now, if I can provide you 20, let's say 30, no wait, if I can provide you 60 authentic Sunni hadiths, that's 60, which I will give you all of them now, that the Prophet at Ghadir said that he who takes me as their master shall take Ali after me. And the Prophet said he who doesn't take Ali as his master is violating a command from God. Now if I can show you 60 hadiths, brother, what is going to be your reaction? Because by now everybody knows that whenever I give an answer or whenever I give a hadith, I always want some sort of positive outcome. If you're just going to reject them, then I'm not going to waste my time in showing you them. So, wa alaikum assalam, assalamu alaikum, brother Shiadebates. So now, if I show you 60 hadiths that the Prophet said, follow Ali after my death as your khalif, as your leader, as your master, as your governor, as your whatever you want to call it, as your imam, what would your reaction be? Okay, if you can't find that chat room, then leave this chat room. Okay, yes, you'll be surprised, which is good, but is there going to be a positive outcome of me showing you this? Is there even a point of me showing you? I understand that you're going to be surprised, as any Sunni would be, or any other schools of thought would be. But okay, so we would like to see a positive outcome. Okay, good. Now, okay, now you've heard of Imam Fakhruddin Razi and you've heard of Jalaluddin Suyuti, yes or no? Have you heard of these two people? Okay, when it comes to history and when it comes to hadith, there's two different famous people, as we so to speak. For example, if there's a hadith on how to pray, if there's a hadith on how to fast, if there's a hadith on how to perform the pilgrimage, if there's a hadith on how to give zakat, if there's a hadith on how to perform jihad, then we look at the people who were there, who were present at the time of the Prophet. But when we look at historical events, we look at historians. Muslims, but historians. Because those who recollected the hadiths of prayer did not recollect those that were in the history. And those who recollected history did not recollect those that are the practices of Islam. Is that clear, brother? So therefore now, Fakhruddin Razi, Jalaluddin Suyuti, and Muhammad bin Tabri is one of the most famous historians in both Sunnis, and he's recognized by the Shia. Imam Ahmad Thahlabi, Muhammad bin Ismail Bukhari, Muslim, so Bukhari and Muslim, Abu Dawood Sunan, Ibn Kathir. These are all very, very famous and well recognized historians. Okay? So I'm going to give you 60 as I promised. So because if I promise 60, I will provide 60. So the first three I'm going to give you now are the following, because I have to actually get rid of these dashes because the room isn't allowing me to send them with the dashes. So just bear with me 1 second, brother. So I'm going to show you Bukhari's Tarikh, I'm going to show you Muslim's Tarikh, I'm going to show you the Abu Dawud Sunan's Tarikh, I'm going to show you, and obviously the famous people who I mentioned, I'm going to show you all of them as well. Let me just remove these dashes from the names, because I'm not allowed to paste dashes. So bear with me 1 second, brother. Okay, why isn't it allowing me to paste? 1 second. Okay, yeah, let's do that, brother. I'll send you the links. Okay. Okay, I'll send you the links, inshallah, and then you can send them to the room. So here's the first three. Could you post those? Could you post these into the room, please? Yeah, this would be easier. Okay, Hamaswi, I want you to focus on this now, because I'm going to give you famous narrations. Now, Imam Fakhruddin Razi, in his book, which is known as Tafsir Kabir Mafatihul Ghaib. Now, the reason why these are tafsirs is because the event of Ghadir has been recollected in the Quran. Okay? There was a verse that was revealed in the Quran where God said to the Prophet, proclaim a message. To which the Prophet said, Ali is your master. To which God revealed another verse from the Quran which says, this day I have perfected for you your religion. Now, because this event of Ghadir and the Prophet saying Ali is the master was done using two Quranic verses, we look at tafsirs of the Quran. Now, these three, Ahmad, Fakhruddin Razi and Jalaluddin Suyuti, in his book Tafsir Dul Manthur and Tafsir Kabir. Now, these, brother, are the first three that I provided. Tafsir. Now, the next I'm going to provide you up till, let's just say we go to 9 now. Inshallah, this will be beneficial for you. Okay, brother. Okay, if they're not authentic according to you, then that's not a problem. Okay, you can reject all 60 if you want. That doesn't make a difference to me. Okay, brother. My point. Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? Wait, brother Taha, don't post it yet. Let me just see what's. Let me see what he's saying. Yes, brother. I'm not saying that you reject Allah. And the thing is, if there are verses in the Quran revealed on the incident of Ghadir, the only problem is you don't know them. Don't say that there are no verses according to you. Just say that you don't know the verses. And then inshallah I can explain to you the Quranic verses. Now, after I show you these 60 hadiths, I'm going to explain what each one says. Obviously not each one, but I'm going to explain what they say. And then we're going to go to the Quran, just to see if you are adhering to Quran and Sunnah. Okay? Okay, brother Taha, if you could post the next verses that go up to number 10, inshallah. Okay, there's number 4. Okay, there's Muhammad bin Jarar Tabri. Tabri is the most famous person in the world when it comes to history. Okay, now there's Muhammad bin Ismail Bukhari in his Tarikh, and also Muslim ibn Hajjaj in his Tarikh, and his Sahih Muslim, and Abu Dawud Sunan in his Sahih. Okay, that should be enough, but I'm not gonna stop with my promise. Okay, even though what I've posted there, for any Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat member, that should be enough evidence. But when I promise something, I try to fulfill that promise as much as I can. So, brother, if you could post the following verses, or the following hadiths, please. Okay, there we have. Brother, could you post that again? I think you missed out a few. Brother Taha, I'm going to send them to you again. Actually, hold on. They start from 11 and they go to 18. Yours started from 15.